been doing a bunch of Lomans and speedrun streams over on Twitch. If you guys want to watch, there is a link in the description below. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's G Miners here. In this video, I wanted to go over a mod that I think a lot of people are sleeping on this season, which is going to be Lightning Strikes Twice. And then also in this video, I have a wild ass build to go along with it, where you pretty much just throw lightning nades and then sit back and watch them kill everything. This mod is a final column unlock in the artifact this season, which makes grenades have increased regen for a short duration after throwing an arc grenade, and then arc final blows will increase this duration of bonus regen. So that, combined with some fragments and some additional mods, is going to allow us to infinitely spam nades, and since we are using storm grenades, the damage is going to be on par with something like fusion nades. They obviously deal damage over time instead of right at once, but the total damage output is going to be wild. This Lost Sector boss, for example, was killed in just one nade, which is not something that nades can usually do. Let's start by going over Lightning Strikes Twice itself. I've been told a few times and have seen others on Twitter saying that the bonus regen just maxes you out to tier 10 discipline, making the mod useless, which is completely untrue. This mod really gives you 150% additional grenade base recharge rate, which means it scales off of your base, aka tier 3 cooldown for your grenade. Tier 3 gives you roughly 0.825% of your nade back each second. Lightning Strikes Twice is 150% of that, so essentially it's going to give you an additional 1.24% nade back each second. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you combine that with tier 10 discipline, you're going to get well over an additional 50% recharge rate. Also, with this mod, by getting additional weapon kills, we're going to be able to get the max duration of increased regen up to around 20 seconds in total. Each kill adds 3 seconds, so very quickly you can see how this additional regen will come in clutch, as it's going to almost always be applied. Overall, I found that the mod shines best when you have 2 grenade charges, and then also, since Titans do have the beefed up storm grenades, I figured this would be the best class for the build. You can also use Heart of Inmost Light for the increased regen and increased damage. I have a full build using that exotic linked below. All you need to do is add Lightning Strikes Twice in as a class item mod, but as you can probably guess, we are going to be using Armamentarian in this build. This is going to give us an additional grenade charge, and that's it. Super simple, but having an extra grenade, especially one as strong as the beefed up storm nades, is a game changer. Subclass wise, again, we're going to be on storm grenades, and then for our first aspect, we are going to need a Touch of Thunder. This aspect beefs up all our grenades. However, the storm grenade is going to turn into a roaming grenade that tracks down nearby targets, which is also going to help increase the amount of kills we get and give us a larger base time for Lightning Strikes Twice to be active. After that, I tend to use the knockout aspect because we get 2 fragment slots here rather than 1, and the health regen on melee is always nice to have. The fragments we are running are also going to beef our nades and our regen for abilities up. First, we have Spark of Ion. This is one of the new fragments, so you might need to grab it from Ikora in the tower. Every time we get a kill on a jolted target, we're going to spawn an Ionic Trace, which will then track to us and give ability energy back. This does have a 5-second cooldown. Spark of Shock will allow our grenade to jolt targets, so this is where we're actually going to be generating the Ionic Traces from. Spark of Recharge will give us increased ability recharge rate for our melee and grenade whenever we're critically wounded. In harder content, this is going to come into play a lot more often. And then lastly, we have Spark of Magnitude, which will give our storm grenades increased duration. More duration is going to be more kills that our nades can get, which will be longer amounts of increased regen through Lightning Strikes Twice as well. As far as mods go, first up is going to be Elemental Ordnance. This is going to spawn in elemental wells that match our subclass each time we get a grenade kill. And then with this, we are running Elemental Charge. This will allow us to get charged with light by picking up an elemental well. This by default will be 2 stacks of Charged with Light. Lastly, I'm running 3 copies of Firepower. This will consume 1 stack of Charged with Light each time we throw a grenade, but we're also going to get 45% of our grenade energy straight back. So just by having 2 stacks of Charged with Light, we can throw 2 grenades and then instantly be at 90% of the way towards our next grenade charge. And then obviously on your class item, you are going to need Lightning Strikes Twice. Other than that, with the build, I do like to use my Ikelos SMG with Demo. For the most part, we are just using this for the arc final blows to keep Lightning Strikes Twice procced. And then Demolitionist will also give 10% grenade energy back on final blows, which is an added bonus. Even though I was testing this build out in some easier content like Lost Sectors, the build still felt extremely strong. Tankier yellow bars and even the bosses were all dying to just one single lightning nade, and the jolting effect added to our grenades made the add clear cover huge ranges. You could throw this at 1 or 2 enemies, and then everything would die to chain lightning in the room. There was never a single time when I was needing extra grenade energy either. As long as you managed to throw one nade near a group of enemies and stay charged with light, everything would die and your next nade was ready. I do also really want to test out pulse grenades and see if those can compete with something like fusions, at least with Touch of Thunder and something like Heart of Inmost Light. So if you guys do want to see a video on that, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that's all for this video, guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.